We doubled up.
On today's show, a cure for the winter blahs we found at the other end of the Mississippi River. The Louisiana Bayou sometimes makes the news for hurricanes or oil spills, but the best news is the bayou may be one of the best fishing destinations in America.
Oh my Lord.
It's a one-pan dish.
And Laura goes wild in the kitchen with a little red wine sauce and some quail. What's not to like? Our Minnesota Bound Classic this week is all about snakes, gators, and everything in between. Looking back at a visit to South Dakota's Reptile Gardens. Those stories and more next.
Don't squeeze too hard. Oh, you want to go in? You can't go in my shirt.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. She's in the driver's seat today. You know, if you're as tired of winter as I am, well, guess what? We found a getaway all the way to the other end of the Mississippi River into the Louisiana Bayou. And there, the fish were biting.
If it's a fishing wonderland you seek,
Oh, yellowfin. Cool.
a Disneyland for anglers, with surprises at the end of your line,
Big old stingray.
well, I know where it is.
That's your Minnesota minnows. This is bait you fish with or you eat.
To find this fishing wonderland, you don't follow the yellow brick road. Follow the Mississippi River to its very end, and then make a cast. It was quickly obvious my guide Cody Obiol knows his redfish.
The redfish is sitting in that grass, so the closer you get to it, the better it is that they'll come out and hit it. There you go.
Yes, sir.
It's always a relief getting the first one out of the way.
Especially when you get one before your guide does.
As we stalked the watery trails amid the roseau canes, Guide Cody, with a decade of guiding experience, was ready to test the redfish's mood.
I'm gonna let you throw the shrimp, and I'm gonna throw a piece of all the fish and see if it makes a difference.
It didn't take long.
What you got, Cody?
Redfish.
Redfish, yeah.
Yep. Pull him up and see he'd keep.
Indeed, Cody has them figured out.
Oh, yeah.
He's a nice one, yeah. Good one. Good fish.
Oh, my Lord. No wonder he's giving you a rough time. Holy cow. What is this now?
This is a black drum. This is the cousin to a redfish, a red drum.
But, not all fish glitter in the bayou.
Ah, big old catfish.
I hate them. They're not fun to catch. I don't like them. A horrible creature.
Then another surprise. Sea trout amid the redfish.
Perfect.
Beautiful fish.
That is. That's a different critter.
Yeah, they got two fangs in the front. That'll get you pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I just enjoy it. I mean, it really never gets old. I mean, it's every day you got to figure it out. With this, you're constantly trying to figure out where they're at, what they're doing.
Oh, it's a porpoise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the reason we ain't catching trout. They like to come in here and run your fish off.
While casting amid the oyster beds, nearby oyster fishermen were doing the hard work, diving for oysters as if they were precious gold.
We doubled up. I feel like I got a sheephead.
Then my fish of the day.
Big old sheephead. Oh, my.
We might need a net.
That is a big dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, my Lord. And appropriately, I got the biggest one.
Double fun, a fishing and a catching with Cody, down in the bayou. Coming up, another adventure into the bayou with a fly rod in hand to sight fish for the redfish willing to take a streamer or even a topwater lure. Non-stop action coming up.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers, Rapala Ice Force, Star Bank, and by Connecticut.
Time now to continue our Louisiana adventure. Here's what's amazing to me is if you just want to fish a fly rod as well as cast, whatever, all of that is doable. Take me to the fish, Miles.
Let's go fish where the fish are.
Well, I like that too, yeah. It's a good plan.
Guide Miles Arose offers a different type of bayou adventure.
Redfish on fly. Sight fishing, you know, you don't cast until you see them, and when you see them, you got to make the right cast. Yeah. But good thing redfish, if you put it in front of them and try to take it away from them, they usually eat it. Step one, put it in front of them.
Oh, I like the plan. Keep casting what Miles calls a slider fly, and
Nice. Good fish, too.
Big boy.
Yeah, that's a pretty one. Perfect specimen.
There's beauty. Yeah, God, that golden sides to them. Awesome.
Nicely done.
Golden fish, yeah, thanks. Good call there, guy. Good
right.
call. Miles, how'd you get into fly fishing?
My uncle taught me. I was really young, like 7 or 8, and just kind of got into it.
I mean, it's more challenging, obviously.
It's kind of like bow hunting compared to rifle hunting.
for beginner fly anglers, Miles makes it easy.
I mean, this is pretty good fishery for beginner because we really don't need a long cast to be successful. So we kind of just get them to where they're comfortable casting 20 feet, and then we try to make the opportunity within 20 feet.
Using his trained fish eyes, Miles gives directions that I try to follow.
I got one at 1 o'clock, about 40 feet. Start casting.
And it works.
Strip. Hard strip. Nice.
Oh, gosh. I just did what you said.
That's all I ask.
I know, but it frustrates me that I can't see what you're seeing. Not fair.
You have to just trust me.
Yeah, there you go. Beauty.
Turns out the redfish were indeed looking for an easy meal.
Right, drop. To the right, there. Yep. Nice. Good fish. Strip down on him.
I think I'm winning. There was some doubt there. That was so cool to see him hit that fly. Whew. And then a heck of a fight, too.
Fishing in the shallows, I couldn't resist making a few casts with a topwater Raptile lure called the Skitter Walk.
Oh, get him. Nice.
First topwater redfish I've ever got. Awesome.
It was beginning to feel like one of those days you don't want to forget.
Holy cripes.
Got you, buddy. I got you. Thanks for the game.
My, what a fishing game it is.
Now that's a beautiful fish.
Humbling 1 minute,
Pulled it away from him. Dang.
exhilarating the next.
Ah, that's great.
From one end of the Mississippi to the other.
He wants to pull me in too.
Minnesota to Louisiana. Fish on, y'all. Up next, Laura Schara is wild in the kitchen perfecting a quail recipe that's sure to become a favorite.
So we're ready to plate the quail.
Sounds good.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Minnesota Rebath.
Hey, it's time now to go wild in the kitchen. Today's menu consists of wild quail that daughter Laura insists she got out in the field in Kansas. Imagine.
It's a special day in Wild in the Kitchen today. I'm here with Chef Kevin Convulson from Fire Lake Grill House and Cocktail Bar. And Chef Kevin, I was recently quail hunting in Kansas, and I brought in my harvest to roast up today.
Yeah, some beautiful quail.
Thank you. So what is the recipe?
Well, it's quite simple. This is a one-pan dish, essentially.
A one-pan wonder. We love that.
Yeah, really simple. We marinated our quail in pickle juice.
Awesome. So what are the first steps to get started?
So we're going to take it out of the brine, pat it dry. Salt and pepper.
One side or two sides?
You can just do both sides now. It's fine. Then we're going to go straight to a hot pan. We're going to lay it in there where the skin would be normally, side down first.
Okay, and why is that?
And lay it away from you. Because that's the side we're going to present on.
And how many minutes does this cook?
Halfway for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking for. Another thing to note too is all this residual quail is actually really good, and that's going to make up part of the flavor in our sauce, yeah.
We only cooked one side for now,
Yep.
And now we're going to let it rest.
So we're going to add our potato.
Raw potato?
Nope, those are just cooked a little bit, just so they're soft. And then we can chop some bacon. If you have any leftover bacon sitting around.
Kevin, whoever has leftover bacon, let's be honest
just
here, nobody
crazy people,
does.
I guess. So now we're going to add that to our pan with potatoes.
Okay.
And then we'll just season it with a touch of salt and pepper. And if you wouldn't mind chopping up some rosemary.
One sprig or?
Yeah, one is plenty. We're going to throw a couple of pinches in there. Put in our spinach.
How many cups?
I would say just 2 good handfuls. This is all going to go right in the oven for about another 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, Laura, next we're going to place our quail right on top of the spinach and our vegetable.
Beautiful.
And we're going to go into our preheated oven, 350.
How many minutes?
About 7 to 9. All right, Laura, so while that quail's cooking, we've got some red wine here. We might as well have a glass.
Yes, great idea, Kevin.
It's been about 7 minutes. Let's check our
So I should
quail.
put my wine down?
Yeah.
All right. Still a
bounce.
tenderness
Yep.
to it?
So we're gonna get the pan hot again. So for this, we're gonna add about a half a cup, give or take. You don't need to measure. We're gonna let that wine reduce. We're gonna throw in about 5 pats of butter there.
3, 4, 5. I mean, it really should be a t-shirt, actually. Everything's fine with butter and wine.
That's right.
Now you're removing it from the heat to stir.
Yeah, that's right. Just letting the residual heat just melt the butter. So we're ready to plate the quail.
Sounds good.
So we're gonna take some of our potato and spinach, and we're gonna slice our quail breast.
Nice and tender, I can tell you that. Now for the good stuff.
Yeah, so we're just gonna sauce this. Very simple.
Well, thanks, Chef Kevin, for sharing my Kansas quail and
Yeah.
making a delicious one-pan wonder.
My pleasure.
All right, I'm going in for a taste test.
Yummy?
Very, very good.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
He's actually not so bad. He likes
Still ahead. Snakes and crocs and lizards. Oh my, no, we're not in the land of Oz or Kansas, but South Dakota's Reptile Gardens.
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Mountain Dew, River Valley Power and Sport, and by Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
Welcome back. You know, the Black Hills is one of my favorite places, but it's famous for being a place full of tourist traps. Well, one place is called Reptile Gardens. Let me tell you, it's not a tourist trap, it's a very interesting tourist destination.
South Dakota's Black Hills is famous for its tourist attractions, so Based on roadside appearances, you might think this is just another roadside zoo.
Well, this is kind of the start of the tour here at the Reptile Gardens.
And you may be surprised to discover
Those are rhinoceros iguanas, and they're one of the endangered types of island iguana.
who is living almost under the nose of George Washington.
This is Mac. Mac's a scarlet macaw. They're of course found in South America also, but he's been here for over 50 years. He's hated me ever since I've worked with him.
As the curator of reptiles, Terry Phillips knows well the attitudes of all the critters living here.
Reptiles have always been my main interest, and it's just a fascinating thing to do.
You should also know that on a weekly basis, Terry Phillips handles more deadly reptiles than anybody in the country.
Complacency kills in any position, but in mine specifically, I average about 1,000 venomous interactions every week. Keep your fingers out of their mouth. That's my personal philosophy.
For sure, there's plenty of mouths with teeth around here.
It's a real alligator. He's big.
He's also a gator with an attitude.
He might be able to see you here.
I don't know if I want to come to that. Oh, God.
He's actually not so bad. He likes to have his nose rubbed. That's a defensive thing.
Oh, it is.
He's actually telling me that he's the dominant animal in the pen. It's almost an ego trip. Now, I really shouldn't say that, but it is which one of us is smarter, me or the alligator,
A better question, who's quicker?
Okay, I'm gonna walk over here and get trying to get me, aren't you, you little turkey?
But most of the really bad actors here at Reptile Gardens do not have legs.
And this guy here, this is the Asiatic monocled cobra. They get their name from that little spot on the back of their hood. Actually, this is the snake that kills the most people throughout the entire world every year. These guys will kill over 20,000 people annually. Everything that the cobra does is all about bluffing. It's trying to scare its attacker away. And you'll notice that when the cobra strikes, the vast majority of the time, like that time there, his mouth is closed. So he's just trying to say, hey, go away, leave me alone. But obviously, if you press them enough, they can and will bite.
And Terry knows firsthand the consequences.
Actually, just this last year, October of last year, I had my first venomous snake bite. Took a rattlesnake bite to my finger, and spent a couple of days in the emergency room.
Okay, so why are so many deadly reptiles now living in South Dakota, of all places?
Jeepers creepers.
Reptile Gardens, Ron, actually is a business that my father founded or started 70 years ago, 1937. People do wonder, what possesses somebody to get into this kind of a business? Well, my dad did like snakes as a young boy. And
one thing led to another, and soon Brocklesby, the entrepreneur, realized the world and its tourists were fascinated by creepy, crawly things.
We want to educate, we want to take good care of our animal friends, and we want to entertain the public, and that's really our goals.
I think actually this one would probably fit you just about perfect, Ron.
Oh my.
There you go, buddy.
Oh, now don't squeeze too hard. Oh, you want to go in? You can't go in my shirt, pal.
Before I faint, let me say life for the locals seems to be good here in the garden.
Hi.
Hi.
Some are chatty, some are weird and always will be.
Glad I'm not a cricket.
Others live in perpetual tropics.
This is our safari room, and it's actually the first indoor jungle in the country. It was built in 1965.
Yes, it's just one big happy family here at Reptile Gardens. Critters with feathers or scales, critters with 8 legs or 4 legs, and one thankful curator,
Jeepers creepers.
who still has all of his fingers.
Got all 10. Some of them are a little crooked, but they're all there.
Wow, I don't know about that alligator. I think he was pretty serious. Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors, show him some reptiles. I'm Ron Schara, of course, the star of the show, and also my Uber driver is Raven, right?
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. To get more Minnesota Bound, including full episodes, go to mnbound.com. And to follow our latest adventures, like us on Facebook.